Hello everyone. Today I'm going to discuss about the cyber law, that is Information Technology Act. So cyber law is a body of laws that deals with the crimes and legal issues involving the internet, digital communications and information systems. With the increased the internet uses, the cyberspace has become a vulnerable. They have most of the people they actually the misuse of this, the electronic the misuse of identity, misuse of the privacy, misuse of the data breaches and online scams, etc. So therefore, India needed a law to regulate digital interactions, promote secure electronic communications, and penalize cybercrime. So that led to the Information Technology Act 2000. So basically, if you see historically, before 2000, India had no specific legal provisions for the cybercrimes or electronic records. So the law was inspired by the UNICITRAL. The UNICITRAL is a subordinate body of United Nations. So in the UNICITRAL, the model of e-commerce uh, in the year 1996 adopted by the United Nations to help the countries formulate their electronic commerce laws. So here, the Information Act 2000 that becomes India's first cyber law, providing a legal validity to digital records and digital signatures. So what are exactly the key features of this act? So first, this is a digital signature. It is the legally equivalent to the handwritten signatures that ensure the authenticity and credibility of that person. The second one is the legal recognition of e-commerce that allows the contracts and documents in a digital form. The third one is the cyber crimes and penalties. It is for the hacking, data theft, and unauthorized access are punishable. And the fourth one is the certifying authorities. That means those who are issuing digital signature certificates. Right now, they are Digi, Mantra, Mitra. These are third parties of most of the central government outsourcing for these authorities, certifying authorities. And the last one is the Cyber Appellate Tribunal. That means the adjudications. So here, this tribunal is established for the grievance redressal related to the cyber issues. And after the, the 7 years before this act become the amendment. So what are these amendment? They introduce a new offenses in the Information Technology Act. The first they introduce the section 66A, which are the later struck down by the Supreme Court. But the section 66, they are 66F, they are majorly for the identity theft and cyber terrorism. And section 79 that defines the liability of the intermediaries like social media platforms like Facebook, Instagrams, etc. Section 43A, the introduced to safeguard sensitive personal data, uh, which I already told you that section 66A is struck down by the Supreme Court in the year 2015. Here there is one uh, issues or the news, the one of the activists who were arrested to derogatory remark on some the politicians and in the social media, that's social media, the Facebook. So for that reasons, uh, those person got arrested due to he he or she liked or the comment on that particular photos, videos on that particular politicians. So that become an offense, and the person got arrested. But later that he released uh, by the court. But this case came into the Supreme Court, and later the Supreme Court decided to struck down and the viable against the constitutional rights. So this is famous case as Shreya Shingal versus Union of India. Under this case, the section 66A that is struck down by the Supreme Court, and that is held as unconstitutional for violating the freedom of speech. And the recent, the last 2 3 years, uh, uh, the recently, uh, and I would like to tell you about the because the Supreme Court said that under 66A I'm talking about, these laws are led to the misuse and arrest for the online posts. uh, At the case of the for the politicians which I'm talking about. And in the landmark Shriram single versus Union of India, Supreme Court held it unconstitutional, affirming freedom of speech under Section 19, Clause 1, Subclause A of the Constitution. Of the Constitution, that means the Indian Constitution. And here, in this the recent amendments, they even the IT to Store 21, they mandated intermediaries like WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram to appoint grievance officers and respond quickly to the complaints, and bought OTT platforms and digital news under the regulations. And in the year 2022 and 23 amendments, they allowed the government to the impanel fact-checking units and also introduce a new norms for online gamings and stricter action against the platforms enabling fake news or misinformation. And here in 2023, the government come with the Data Protection and IT Act. So now replaced by the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023, which defines here Section 43A was the original section to the address personal data protections, requiring companies to compensate users for negligence in the protecting data. However, it was limited in scopes. Now replaced by the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023, which defines data fiduciaries, the fiduciaries, rights of data principles, penalties, and government obligations, also influenced by the right to privacy judgments in the case of Puttasamy, which declare privacy as a fundamental rights. Now the challenges and criticisms of all these act. Uh, the first one is the surveillance concerns. The, mostly the people argue some provisions allow government overreach and lack adequate safeguards. Second is enforcement. The shortage of trained cybercrime officers and infrastructure that becomes a very uh, backtrack of this cyber security. Third is ambiguity. Terms like offensive, fake news are not clearly defined. So due to that, the most of users in Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, they got arrested due to that the ambiguity of the definitions of these keywords. But before the 2013 Act, India had no comprehensive data protection law. So for that, we have such kind of enforcement, and the way forward. The way forward is very simple. The strengthen data protection laws and ensure the right is best, and ensure that the privacy of the people or citizens of the India should not get compromised at any cost. Update the IT Act regularly to reflect emerging technology like artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and blockchains. Build a cyber forensic and investigation capacities. Balance between digital freedoms and regulation to avoid misuse while protecting citizens. And last, the The IT Act laid the foundation for the cyber regulation in India. But with the rapidly evolving, like artificial intelligence, continuous legal updates and public policy reforms are needed. And India must develop a robust, transparent, and right respecting digital law framework for ensuring citizens' privacy and protection. Thank you.